Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who only walks into a room when the Grateful Dead's concert from 1974, August 4th in Philadelphia is playing. Snick Rehack.
That's who I am, and I'm most likely it's at the Spectrum because they went to the Spectrum a whole lot before it closed up.
I heard one of the best 3-day runs by Grateful Dead occurred on August 4th, 5th, and 6th, 1974. So I just butchered that, but you just put a Bluetooth speaker on. You put a Bluetooth speaker on. You roll it into a place, and everyone's like, "Is that a grenade or like a what?" And it's just, and all of a sudden, like the Grateful Dead bops out.
They're like, "Oh, that's just Jerry and Bob."
And then Phil. You walk into the room wherever you go.
Yeah, it's just like, "Hey, man." What are you guys doing, man? This is a church service right now. Oh, right. Praise God, man. Like, what?
That's a lot of noise coming out of that thing.
Pure love, though, man. I do love me some Dead, though. I mean, I have the shirt on right now.
Yeah. One of my favorite memories is I was in college and one of my brother's friends was like, when I become a millionaire, I'm just going to pay for that song, What Men at Work, when it's like A Land Down Under. He's like, I'm just going to pay for a band to follow you around and play that wherever you go for a day. And that seemed like the perfect day. Just, I come from a land down under. And that song just follows me wherever I go. Yeah. Like a little band behind me. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Now, how big a band? Are we talking like a 3-piece? Acoustic? Is it electric?
One's not enough. 5's too much. I'm not feeding 5 people. So let's say 3.
Wholeheartedly agree. I like 3's a good number.
Because you still need like what instruments? Like you need like at least that, a guitar, and maybe like some drums.
You probably have a guy walking around with a guitar with a portable amp, another guy with a portable keyboard, you know what I mean, doing a Ray Manzarek, covering a bass line while adding a little bit of keys and flutter on top. Ray Manzarek from The Doors, not really from Men at Work. And then you have somebody on a drums, like a little, not a quince per se, but a quince setup, and you can play the drums that way as they go through.
And we need a flute.
Or is that part of the portable keyboard? And you know what I mean? Like he just puts it on a certain setting and does that while doing the bass thing.
No, he needs the dill in it. He needs a portable. He needs a portable keyboard and a flute.
A flute rig on his mouth.
Yeah. So I can just he can do that, and he has both attached.
But he's got it on a pan flute to make it even more like he can zip and zap his head around like a harmonica.
Yeah, we're nailed. I like that. So
we got it.
So Greg Ham played saxophone, keyboard, and flute on that. So he needs to, and harmonica. So we're just attaching everything to him. Yeah. So one person gets all that, and when they complain, it's like, yo. He's like, well, they did that in the studio. I don't care. I don't care.
They're all wind instruments. Let it happen.
Listen, you're getting paid to just follow me around and play a song. You can do it. So yeah, Down Under by Men at Work would be the song that follows me around.
And when one of them have to go for like a bathroom break, they just do a very slow melodic version where it's just the guy on guitar.
Well, no, when I go to the bathroom, they go in 3 separate stalls and keep playing.
Oh, that's even better then.
Yeah. These are pros.
They really are. And then they even get the sinks involved too. They get the water going. They go
like, you know, when you have your friends come over to move midday, they're like, I'm done with this. Like, why? You're just feeding me like chicken, like raw chicken, barely cooked chicken and some like rice. And like, I don't know why I actually had to move somebody an entire day, and I got polio tropical. So that's why I probably went to that thing, and I blew my back out for the first time that day, and I kept working. I just pulled a really deep memory, Nick Rehack. But yeah, like these are just
I can
random.
tell in your eyes it went from like this is kind of funny to I remember that day.
That was the first back injury I've ever had, and it's like all downhill from there.
Okay, I was gonna say Sum 41, but they didn't. Did they do that song? All
Which
downhill
one?
From here.
Oh, it's all no, that's Newfound Glory.
Okay, all right. So I'm glad I didn't say it out loud then.
Yeah, don't mess with my pop punk here. Come on, man. So these are pros. Like, you're not having friends come over to move. You're hiring like a pro moving thing that, like,
oh yeah,
does that make sense? Like, they're not quitting halfway through. They're not showing up late. They're not complaining about pianos blowing their backs out and just getting a little bit of chicken and some rice, which I didn't expect anything, but I was like, at least pizza. Come on, guys.
Something.
So yeah, like these are pros, so they know what they're doing. They've done it before.
Funny you mentioned a piano. I got a piano for my wife as a wedding gift, and I had to pick it up. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do this. Picked it up at the person's house, loaded it onto my pickup truck, brought it into my house. I did it with a buddy of mine. And I didn't like do any research on the piano. I just saw it. I'm like, oh, that probably weighs like 300 pounds. I'll get my buddy.
No.
It was like a 800 pound piano that just he and I moved. Completely miserable the whole time. And after we finished, I'm like, I am so sorry. We found a brewery And I'm like, whatever you want, food, drink, it's on me because I nearly killed you doing this. It's also when I found out he was colorblind because we stopped at a 7-Eleven and I was like, you want a Gatorade? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, just give me that purple one. I walk over and do whatever, come back, and he's just staring at the case. And I'm like, is everything okay, man? He's like, I don't know which one's purple. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know which one's purple? He's like, I'm colorblind. I've known this man for 4 years at that point. No idea he was colorblind.
You should have said Arctic Blast Deluxe. He could have.
You know what? I should have said a flavor name. Great, Arctic Blast something. But instead, I just kept reiterating, no, it's the purple.
Yeah.
And then we found out. Shout out Gavin. Love you, man.
Good friend.
Great friend.
Everyone needs a Gavin in their life.
Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do.
And you know what? When you send them in for Gatorade, it's kind of like you don't know what you're going to get, and it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Dealer's choice. That's my new thing to say. If someone's like, hey, do you want me to get you something? Yeah, dealer's choice. Let them have fun. Let them be the experiment.
Love it. Yeah.
Yes.
I was in New Orleans one time at a restaurant called Cochin, and the bartender was like, you guys want some whiskey? Because he knew us from before. I'm like, you pick. And he was back at the bar, like pumping his fists in the air, like, I get to pick. And he didn't go crazy either. He got us like a nice, affordable whiskey because he's not like a total jerk. He was really happy that like we had him go pick us something he liked. So yeah, dealers, except for red. I don't want my mouth being stained red from Gatorade.
Yeah, that wouldn't be, it'd be less than ideal.
You just got to drink it quick.
And that's it. And you know what's funny? I don't think it doesn't matter how quick you drink it. I think it's staining regardless. It don't matter how quick you knock back a blue, your tongue is blue. Don't matter you're red, it's going to look like you've been chewing on some blood.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if you mixed them, what that would look like.
Probably purple. Or are you talking about whiskey and Gatorade?
Poof. I mean, you blend electrolytes with booze. Like, that's pretty interesting.
I mean, that's who knows what would happen there.
Whiskey-aid. Power whiskey.
Gator ski. No. Ooh, I'm not mad at Gator ski, though.
Gator ski? That's a Florida drink.
Yeah. It's a Gatorade cocktail drink on a jet ski.
No, that's orange Gatorade from a cooler.
There you go.
With some moonshine. That's Gator ski.
Hey, man, we got some Gator ski.
Because there's no lid on that cup.
How do I get in there? Just get you a cup, dunk it in there, and you got it. There's ice already in there, player.
Gator ski.
What?
It's best. Just don't. You're gonna spill half of it, so just don't even more.
Try not to though, because it is a little expensive to make. We only do this twice a year.
It gets sticky.
It surprisingly.
And the football team will be pissed if you just drink it all.
Oh, the worst kind of piss. Hey, it's viscous. Don't worry about it. Just drink it. It's fine.
Gator ski for the gentlemen.
And for the lady gentlemen too. It's 2025. We're cool.
Everybody's good. As long as you live in South Florida and like the South Florida.
I don't want to hear any of you Panama Cityers from the Panhandle coming down here. Not happening.
Jacksonville. Like
Pensacola, stay home.
Sarasota. If you have neighbors who live closer than 100 yards, do not drink this.
Gulf side, don't even look in our direction.
Gulf side, St. Pete, Clearwater, they're drinking Four Locos. We don't even mess
like
with
adults.
Them. Yeah.
That's some blue collar fellers.
While they're having heart attacks, we're staying loaded up with electrolyte.
We're seeing numbers and smelling colors over here, man.
We power our pot stills with pythons that we burn.
The islands of Key West. Oh, we're just walking in between them. We're not even getting in boats. Our boats are our imagination.
Gator ski.
At a store near you.
And behind a store near you.
Yeah. Hey, Daryl just got one of them Yeti coolers. He can make it once. It lasts for a month.
Too fancy. I want the igloo.
I only want a week long, and that's it.
I stole one from a high school football campus locker room.
2 weeks later, man, that cooler looks familiar. No, it don't. Drink some of this.
It says like middle of nowhere high school on it.
Physical education department. What?
It's ironic.
That's so weird. What's the coincidence?
You know, we normally get this out before we start. And then this time we got into the episode quick and we just did it anyway. So if people see Nick
a little bit to talk about,
if they see Nick Rehak on a Movie Sons and Flakes podcast, they know what's happening.
They got to know by now, right?
Yeah, it's all good. Gator ski. Okay,
and
so Jay,
it's quality. It's
Nick,
quality.
I just called you Jay.
It's all right.
Because Jay is like my podcasting life mate. And so we
I'm just that side hustle that comes through. Gator ski.
We need someone from I saw you MFF side. All right, so we're gonna be doing our 5 favorite needle drops from 2024. I brought you on because we've talked a lot of music, we've talked a lot of soundtracks, and it just felt right to bring you on and talk about music. I mean, you're wearing a Grateful Dead shirt right now.
Oddly enough,
I should have worn something. I just got a Noah Khan hoodie. I should have busted out. I should be wearing that. My Cage the Elephant shirt I just got. One of those. I should have worn a music theme. So instead of have a Yeti who's hiking, which I do a lot of hiking, so that makes sense.
There you go. There's Yeti songs. Goose has a song called Yeti.
What about Mountain? Are the bands about mountains?
The band Mountain.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
Yeah, that's a song. But also Mountain, they did Mississippi Queen.
I'm sure Fleet Foxes record now, up there somewhere.
Yeah, the White Winter Hymnal. I'm sure that was near a mountain.
We did.
Got to be at that point.
I mean, there's a lot of woods in like Norway.
So many woods in Norway. There's no way Bjork hasn't sung about a mountain before, or a Yeti, or I'm sure they call them something different out there. It's got like 7 J's and then a vowel.
Yeah. I can't even do it. Lars von Trier is going to make a movie about it.
And he's just going to turn on the camera and let it do its thing. It's going to keep shifting away.
Anti-Yeti.
I could see that movie. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to see that. I really want to see that now. Just here's a town of Yetis. Nope. Just
the same cast. It's like Sasquatch Sunset. Same cast. Nicole Kidman, all of them, who's ever still around, in Yeti costumes.
It's in the dirt, and it's drawn. The outlines are drawn in the dirt to give it that real rustic, gritty feel.
And listen, Sasquatch Sunset has some amazing music moments, by the way. I'm just putting it out there. Great movie. Great pooping.
The poop budget very high on that film. Very high poop budget. And I'm not going to lie, not a lot of movies have a good poop budget. It's often like very last minute, like, okay, we see you tried.
If I'm a line producer, and I'm going through the budget on my spreadsheets, and I'm strip board and everything, getting everything ready, looking at my budgets. And if there's no budget for poop, I'm not in it.
No.
Like Jurassic Park. Great. Give me that all day.
Yeah.
Because that had to have been a line item.
There's no way it wasn't. But here's the problem. As big as it was and impressive as it was, I don't think they could replicate that today with the inflation that we have going on.
Yeah, you need a lot of brontosauruses for that.
Yeah. I mean, some would say almost too many brontosauruses for that.
They're not doing that again.
No.
There's snot in that movie. There's poop in that movie. There's a kitchen fight.
There's ice cream in that movie. What do you think the ice
shaking
cream budget
Jello?
Was? The Jello? I mean, the Jello alone. How many takes do you think it took to get just the right shake?
Jello's famously uncooperative.
Famously. I mean, look at their spokesperson they had for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He really force-fed you the information about Jello and how great it was.
It's the Jello.
It's the pudding pop. Everybody loves the Jello and the shake of the round and the colors.
You can. All right. What's your first pick?
My first pick, when you suggested this list, the first thing that came to me, and it's a little bit of a basic pick, a little bit of softball, a little bit obvious, but it's the intro to Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, we know what's going to happen. He's going to hold his hand up. He's going to say, wait. They're going to go into a song. There's going to be banter. There's going to be slow motion where weaponry or somebody getting hit with something. It's going to have somebody's name on it. There's going to be a fun wink and nod. Essentially, it's its own James Bond theme song, right? But they just happen to pick a song from somebody else and they go through the motions. This time around, it's NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. To me, what makes it so funny, though, is you're watching it and it just keeps going and going. I mean, I feel like they do the entire song. It's not like some where they pick a certain verse and then cut to, and then it just ends. You get like, say it's a 3-minute song, they get it down to about a minute. Not the case in this one.
Nope.
You get the full width and breadth of the song, and it's just a lot of fun. Like, yes, it's the same kind of jokes. The fighting is a little bit different. And you know what I really like about it too? I really like that it didn't do the whole, like, when if someone were like, it goes bye bye bye, like bum bum bum. He didn't have like a punch. You know what I mean? It wasn't so synced up with it to where it felt like, all right, we get it.
Edgar Wright.
Exactly. Or trying to harp on that. Because I feel like if that was the case, it'd be really overdone, and maybe they would do that to kind of play it up as a bit. But
I mean, he's a little older than us, Ryan Reynolds, but that was such a big part of, if you're around in the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s, because the run wasn't that long, but Bye 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 was huge. And
massive.
So, the people actually probably going to the movie are around our age, like the main group of people, because, just Ryan Reynolds. And when that song came on, I had a big smile on my face. And I love that, you said, it wasn't all synced up. And you said it's basic, but I think it gets to the point where you're just kind of like, it should be there. So it's like, if you do a needle drop list, like without this included, in your top 15, top 20, top 10, you're kind of being a little haughty. Because I think they already paid for like a minute of the song, but then they're like, oh, it went longer. So Ryan texted the NSYNC guys back and they're like, yeah, man, just take the song. It's cool. Do whatever you want.
Really?
Yeah. And
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I was doing some research on this and the song jumped up back in the charts and it like jumped up back in the charts. They weren't even like originally supposed to use that much and they used the entire song. And then Ryan brought him out to the premiere.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, and then the song just blew up because listen, it's a fun song. It's a really violent fight scene. And like Ryan didn't do the dancing, obviously, because he said he's 48 and has terrible knees, which makes sense. And like, he just had like his stuntman do some amazing dancing while murdering people. And it's a really fun needle drop for sure.
Yeah. And anytime I hear that song, it immediately makes me think of Making the Video. Because I feel like that was one of the first Making the Videos was them doing that song. And so that song is like almost ingrained in my head because of how many, all the takes and what it has to do. And what I like too is it never feels like a music video. Like I said, it just feels very much like a James Bond intro, but instead of like women made out of different materials dancing around and like guns firing, he's beating other people with appendages of a skeleton. Like he's beating up bodies with a dead body, essentially.
And then remember Kim Smith was in that video. She was like the video person there for a while. She had a good run in late 90s music videos.
Sure. That's not ringing any bells right now. I'm sorry.
And they were little guys in a store, right? For Bye Bye Bye.
Now I know what you're talking about. Yes. They were the little marionette puppets.
Yeah. And it was a huge, and then Blink-182 made fun of them. They had to make another video for all the small things. That was great. No, wait, they were making fun of Backstreet Boys. Either way, I think their needle drop and This Is the End made me really happy when Backstreet Boys popped up.
Yeah. But then when it actually, when you know what I mean, it shows at the end, I'm just like, there's no way. And that makes it like that much greater.
Good work.
Thank you, man.
All right, so
thanks for having me on. You can find
see y'all later. He's gonna be out back of a Wawa. Look for him selling a cooler, gator ski. All right, so Raftery. So I'm gonna go with The Substance, and there's actually a song called The Substance, or like a piece of music called The Substance. It was made by this guy named Rafferty. He is a British DJ, and he got in touch with the director of Coralie, the director of The Substance, and she sent him the music. He had about 70 to 80% of the movie done that he had, and I thought it was pretty interesting for Sue. The character of Sue, they wanted something completely different. It needed to be contemporary and larger than life with a hint of like sensuality. And so, with Demi Moore's character, it was a lot different. She had more of like a classical feel. But when it came to Sue, they wanted to be like real contemporary, larger than life. And so what I liked was, whenever the song The Substance comes on, the first time you kind of see it's when she's doing the audition. And there's like the incredibly gratuitous shots of like her butt and her stomach and like her chest and her lips.
It's really gross. I hated like that part of the movie.
But like it's so gratuitous, but it's also very funny because every time shots like that happen, The Substance kicks in. It's like, and it's very laughable because exactly what they're doing. Like every shot has a like he added the drums in there, which he put a kick drum in there, and sort of like noisy snare which comes in. He's like, I remember putting in that scene with Sue in the catsuit. It was just quite fortunate. Sometimes you get things that just line up really nicely. And he's like, the kick drums are lining up with the cut. And then it just sort of snaps to her lips. And then the snare kicked in and it all tied together quite nicely. So it made me smile and laugh because it's like so gratuitous. Coralie knows that, Coralie Forgeot, like I love Revenge. I've listened to her name 40 times. I keep butchering it. But it just, whenever that song comes on, it only comes on pretty much whenever she's like, getting in a cat suit or she buys her like really famous bathing like workout gear or bathing suit or whatever, like her workout leotard. But it's a very aggressive, a very kind of funny, but I just really like the tight pacing of it. I think it works really well and it adds absurdity to it. So I think this movie would have been really gross if a dude directed it. But since like it came from like this really excellent like French director, I just love that way that she worked with Rafferty on The Substance. Like just the way that he timed all the shots, like it's very gratuitous, but also to me, it's very funny because it's just every time that you have a certain scene, it kicks in. It's kind of Sue's sort of theme. And it's like so like queued up that it's just really memorable. And I had to include it.
Yeah. Cause it's just like, it's like walking up to somebody, getting a handshake at the same time. It's going to be happening. and you're not mad about it. You're like, oh, handshake, like hell yeah, absolutely. And with this music, it kind of adds that level of like satiricism, whatever that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's also a bit of like surrealism and absurdism to it, but I think what really helps it stand out, to me at least, is whenever I hear that, it immediately takes me back to old like fashion or makeup ads from like Revlon and all that from the late aughts, early tens, where it had like very much that driving, thriving music, a lot of bright fluorescent lighting, and it's like super close up on the lips, and you can see like how, you know, wet the application is or how voluptuous or all this other stuff. The same thing that they're doing and emphasizing in these scenes, like it kind of does or harkens to those commercials, and it gives to me that extra level of like it's coming from a place of like I guess familiarity, right? It's not like they're pulling it out of thin air. Like, no, we have instances of this like in commercial form and other stuff, and it just throws up there. And also, the music just sounds really good. You ever listen to Gustaffelstein? Very similar vibe.
Florida band?
No, unfortunately, Alabama, by way of I think Germany. But it's very similar. I don't want to say house music, but it's a very similar energy and vibe to it. And if you like Rafferty, what they're doing here, I think you would dig Gustaffelstein and what he does.
All right, I'll have to add that to Spotify. And it just does a good job underlining the action, and it makes it funny. I don't know why it makes it funny, but it's just so bold. Like Rafferty said that he loved being bold on this movie. And it's just kind of bold and like kind of like satirical, like you said. Just every glory shot is just going like boom, boom. Like it's just I don't know. I think that's why the movie works so well, is because its vision is so well thought out and it's so consistent in its tone. And like, you know, Demi Moore, we watched her like in the 90s. Like I remember when Striptease came out, she's like, oh, she got paid $10 million for this. So like she became like just the biggest actor, like put her in Disclosure and all this kind of stuff. And then they're like, oh, Charlie's Angels comes out, she's 40. And you're like, oh my gosh, can you believe a 40-year-old woman is jacked? Like, oh my gosh. Like it's like you watched her career kind of be like the substance. And then like watching her again in this film. And like Margot Qualley's great. Like she's like fearless. And so like watching her in this was wonderful. And I don't know. I think the whole package made me happy. And also knowing that Corley, she worked as a runner on a Demi Moore movie and got Demi Moore coffee once. And now she's directing her in a film that might receive a Best Picture nomination. So that makes me really
pretty
happy.
wild.
Yeah, I think
like
it's cool.
You just start somewhere and then you end up somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like you never know. And at least it was, hopefully, assumedly from that, it was a positive experience because she did end up working with Demi again. And like, you know what I mean? Could you imagine if she worked with Demi, then was horrible, and she had somebody else in that role that maybe wasn't as good because Demi would have been great in it? It's all these little things.
But I love consistent tone in movies. I love it when a film is just very confident. And that's what The Substance is. So I had to pick it.
Good pick.
What's your second pick?
My second pick, it's a weirder pick for sure because it wasn't one of those movies that like blew everyone away. It was Argylle. I saw it early in the year because I had nothing else to see in the theaters that was grabbing me. I'm like, let me see what this is about, because the marketing was kind of like, it was very one note, and it made you think, oh, we're doing this thing over here. And then very quickly in the movie, it goes in a very different direction. This particular scene is the whirly bird. It's this scene where it's so stupid, truly. I love Barry White. Anytime the Walrus of Love kicks on, I'm here for it. So here, boom, we've got Barry White kicking on, and excuse me, you see Dua Lipa, and she's doing her thing, and she's looking gorgeous, and Henry Cavill's just staring her down like, man, this is great. And you're expecting this big, like, closely knit, choreographed, very sensual kind of dance, and instead he's just like, do you do the whirly bird? And she's pretty much like, yeah. He just proceeds not to, like, you know, dance and get into it. He just proceeds to lift her up and spin her around. And he just keeps doing it. And then that's kind of it. And then they go into like this slow kind of dance thing. And part of me is like, you open with the whirly bird and then go something slow. You should build to the whirly bird. And instead we're starting at whirly bird and we're whirling down.
Like, you know, most like, you know, breakdancing, because you and I are breakdance experts. You kind of work into it. Like you work into the spins. Like it's just immediately jumping on your head and spinning. And like, skip all the build up. Yeah, he just whirly birds her immediately.
You can wait if the competition's at 12 in the afternoon. You can wake up at 7 o'clock and do yoga. That does not mean you're going to be as nimble and spry come time for the competition, because other things are going to stress you out. You're going to get yourself nervous. You have to work into that. That's where you have to do your picks and rolls. You know what I mean? Get your shoulders going, get your arms going, get everything all loosened up, do a couple pops with your chest. You know what I mean? You're working that muscle too. And then you can get into the head spins, because once you build up that core, you have that strength. Spin away. Spin away. Don't swing
Argylle,
away.
they do some good spinning later on to a cover of Snow Patrol's Run with very bright colors and murder.
Almost too bright, let's be honest.
Matthew Vaughn, though, loves a good needle drop. Like, I remember watching Layer Cake. He uses Ordinary World really good by Duran Duran and Layer Cake really well. He has Freebird and Kingsman.
I was just about to say Freebird, yep.
Country Road and Kingsman 2. He also uses Bonkers by Dizzy Rascal really well in Kingsman. So I mean, he's no stranger to a needle drop.
No, he's big on juxtaposition too. The way he places those songs. Like, obviously, you know, when you hear Freebird, you imagine you're in a big field, lighters, flags, women on guys' shoulders. Everybody's hands are up. They're screaming. They're loving it. Give us more Ronnie Manzat. You know, they want it. You don't imagine a huge, just massive food fight break scene, and people are just getting wrecked with lunch trays. You would never think that in a million years.
It's so good. Yeah, this scene was fun to revisit. Argylle, I was watching Argylle, and like, the one thing I like about Argylle is while watching, like, what is happening? What is happening? Like, I kept going, like, where are we going with this? And that's kind of nice sometimes when you watch a movie. And I feel like there's a lot of Matthew Vaughn in that as well, because you're watching it and you're like, is Julianne Moore feeding dead bodies that she's making into hamburgers to people? Like, is this cannibalism? Like, you're just sitting there going, what is happening? And I kind of like that about his movies.
Nah, that can't be real.
I forgot about Argylle, but
a lot of people did. It's okay.
I'm glad I remembered it.
And it's one of those too, like, how can you really describe the premise of the film without giving a lot of stuff away? Like, it is a very tough film to market. And I don't think it had the biggest budget, because some of the effects work isn't as strong as things could be, but it's for sure, like, it's different. They took a big swing, and I'm glad they did. You don't get a lot of big swings, or at least the big swings don't get as much attention, I feel, as they should.
Yeah, that's why I like it. I don't remember it, but I like it. Yeah. But this was fun. And Dua is always great. Henry Cavill's always good. John Cena's always fun. Yeah, good pick. All right, I'm going to go for a random one here, and I'm going to jump around on my list. But there's a movie I watched recently. It technically came out in 2023, but that's in film festivals, and it got a wider release in 2024. But it's called Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. And it's a wonderful French-Canadian film about a vampire who hasn't popped her vampire teeth yet. And she meets this suicidal kid, and he's going to be her first victim so she can pop her teeth. And then so his death is going to do some good by helping a vampire out. And it's very awkward. And in the research for this episode, I found out when the two auditioned together, the two leads in this film, played by Sarah Monpetit and Arnaud Vachon, which I wish I could pronounce better, but good kid. Like, oh no, I'm sorry. No, Felix Antoine Bernard. Like, that's who plays it. I read the wrong name, but their audition was so bad together. They were so awkward that they thought they bombed it, but then the director hired them because she's like, I want you two to be awkward.
Oh, interesting.
That's a good idea. But there's a scene like where they're hanging out, and like, this is where Sarah Monpetit as Sasha is incredible. She puts on Emotions by Brenda Lee, and it's like a 3-minute scene where she's just they're listening to the music. It's the two of them, like, front and center. But like, she starts like kind of lip syncing it, and she does this amazing, charming, funny dance, and she's lip syncing. But then next to her, she has this really awkward dude who just starts dancing kind of really squirrely. And like, she's kind of like, she watches Paul and he kind of wrecks her vibe, and she just walks away, which I kind of love because he gets too kind of bouncy with it. But I think as far as 2024 moments, it's one of my favorite because Sarah Monpetit is just incredible in the scene, and just the way that she plays it off. And, you know, they had to put a lot of work in this. Like, if we just put us there for 3 minutes and it's boring, people are going to hate it.
Right.
So I think the awkwardness works. They worked on every little detail. Like, it was all about what time they would look at each other, and the two actors constructed all the choreography, and like, they rehearsed it. And they're like, I think that's why it works so well, because it can just be long and boring scene, but they managed to fill it with these little moments and like tension building where there's a story to it. She gets into it. She's trying to open up to him, but he's so awkward that she's like, oh man, this is bad. Cause she's like 200. He's just a suicidal kid, but a teenager. Like, it's just a really interesting scene. But yeah, I I picked this scene because I think it's very charming.
I love this scene.
Yeah.
I teared up when I was watching it. And immediately I was like, I need to find this movie because somehow on your list, I didn't see this until today when I was double checking everything for the show. And I was like, oh no, I didn't catch this in time. But watching this, I mean, again, tear coming out of my eye. I love that the camera just sits there. For me in my life, if I go crate digging or if I sit down and show someone a record, to me, that's one of the most intensely intimate and special things that I can do is to share with someone and go, I really love this particular song and I think you will too, and then play it and be in the same room with them. It's very different to be like, okay, cool. Let me text Spotify, this Spotify link to Mark. Hey, Mark, I think you'll dig this song. Boom, there you go. And you listen on your own. And eventually you might come back and go, hey, really cool. Or, thumbs up emoji or whatever. But to be in that moment with someone and you have to share that energy and how are they listening to it versus how you listen to it, it's just so intense and intimate, but it's so beautiful and so sweet at the same time. And the camera just sits there. And I love that because I feel like any other director, it would have been, when he starts doing his thing, it cuts to her and she makes a face and then she does her thing and it cuts back to him. It would have been too many cuts and trying to force a story when the story just unfolds itself with the camera just sitting there and letting the actors act. And it is just it was when I started playing it, I'm like, I'm gonna love this moment, and it was such a good scene. Even at the end, when it does kill the vibe and that energy is gone, all of it felt to me so real because I've been both of those people before, and it was just such a loving, like, it was a really beautiful moment.
And she's perfect in that scene.
So
Sarah
great.
is just like incredibly charming. So I haven't been able to forget the scene because it's played so well, and it's one of my favorite 2024 moments. And I'm glad you liked it. So that's cool. I'm happy now. What's your third pick?
I'm also going to jump around on my list.
Like House of Pain?
And I'm a jump around. You know what I mean? We're not going to pack it up and pack it in, and we're far from beginning, but
we've already begun.
We're way past the beginning.
You are the cream of the crop.
I'm not going to lie. I don't I remember the first couple lines.
No, because a pig is a cop, or better yet, a Terminator, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, trying to play me out like if my name is Sega, but I ain't going out like no punk, bitch.
Follow me, that's a sin. Get up, stand up, coming through your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump across the ceiling. Yeah, now get out your seat and jump around. But I am going to jump around to probably one of the most insane things I've seen all year. And that is the virginity pledge
it's so good
in Megalopolis. I was fortunate enough to catch this in theaters. I was out of town for a work trip and just outside of Allentown, Pennsylvania. And I'm like, okay, it's just going to be me in this theater. It was me and a couple college kids because I guess there's a big enough university nearby. And I did not know what to expect. I really didn't. I saw the trailer thinking like, I don't know what's going to happen here. But when I'm watching this movie and I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. I kind of don't. Then this moment happens where there's honestly too much to get into in order to explain what gets us to this moment. But essentially, we're at a wedding and the groom's niece, she comes floating down on this like half moon crescent singing a song. And there's a guy there who's like, who wants to pledge to her virginity? $10,000, and it's getting up to like millions of dollars. These old pervy dudes holding up paddles like it's an auction, like giving money to her to preserve her virginity. Meanwhile, like there's just sin and gluttony and just absurdity all around it. Whenever the shot's on her, like it's this beautiful, bright, very well lit, just shimmering colors, and everything else is like either dark and dank or like yellow and grimy. I mean, even at the end, she's wearing a dress that you can see through, and she's like, you can see right through me. And it's like,
yeah,
no, we get it. Thank you for telling us, but no, we get it.
Because it had millions of cameras. Is that what they were saying?
Millions of cameras. I mean, it's on billboards going around. They're in an arena like Coliseum. Like it's totally insane. And I still kind of don't understand the point of that moment because you could literally what happens next and how they cause chaos and stuff. You could have easily done it in a very different way within like 30 seconds, but they pursue this very long and drawn out number. And there's like duplicates of herself coming out. It's almost like what's the Greek mythology with like the singing sisters or the muses?
You just dropped that on me. I don't know.
Sorry, but it gave me like kind of like that Greek motif kind of thing, even though it's very Roman. So it's like there's just a lot happening in this movie, and for us to stop and watch this, I'm like, oof.
There's Nathalie Emanuel's just like Jeez Louise during it.
Yeah.
And
she's the audience for it. She's like, I'm getting out of here.
yeah, she's great now. She's so good in that movie. And so is Adam Driver. And Plaza's looking
Incredible.
annoyed, and Shia LaBeouf is just doing some crazy stuff in his area.
Unhinged.
But yeah, it's actually a really pretty song. And this is a movie I love because there's some shots that you're like, this is gorgeous. And like everyone is making so many decisions in this film that like people are like, it's a terrible movie. But I guess you can think that the concept is terrible, but I think all of these actors are making choices. This movie is not an accident.
No,
and
there's no way.
Yeah, it's not. This isn't a happy accident or a director who has lost it. This is a film with very talented actors, and it's just insane. And do you like my boner?
Yeah.
Just Aubrey Plaza unhinged. Like I think Nathalie Emmanuel is very likable in it. You like her a lot. Adam Driver plays it really well. But yeah, it's a good song. And then all of a sudden we get a faked clip of sex proving she wasn't a virgin. So that's another subplot. Oh, Shia.
Just comes crashing down. And it's like, what are we doing, gang? Come on. She was millions of dollars ready to go and then just gone. And then it makes you wonder too, like, are they going to do it again next year? Like, hey, let's keep her for another 20 million. We'll keep her a virgin for another year. Like,
and yeah, I guess they proved the tape was fake. They just keep pledging. It's an odd scene. But it felt right in the movie.
Weirdly, right? Because there's moments that happen in film you're like, maybe it was like they really wanted to do this particular aspect and they threw it in there, or we could have done without that. Or like you talked about earlier, you're like a film with a consistent tone. Tonally, they really forced this one. They could have taken it out and the film would have flowed better. But no, it's just, it just works.
It's opulent like the Roman Empire was.
Like, I think so opulent.
It eventually crashed. It was so opulent. So it's kind of, it makes sense that it's so opulent. Was it smart? No. Did it make a lot of money? No. Does Coppola own nothing of his wine company anymore? Yes. But he probably just owns like the Sophia mini branch of
if that. Because I mean, I really want to see him make a portion of it back, all of it, obviously. But I mean, for someone to take such a big risk with all of their money, like, it doesn't matter the outcome at that point. Like, that's huge. I told myself, if I ever won the lottery for like an absorbent amount of money, I'm just going to Guillermo del Toro and be like, here's $50 million. Do whatever you want to do. Hey, David Lynch, here's $50 million. Find these directors that have such unique voices and such fantastic ideas and just let them go wild. Say, here's your budget and go. Give them more than what they're used to having just to see what they're capable of doing. Because they're so used to having these smaller budgets to where they're very particular in how they get creative. They're just going to amplify that and produce something that's even more wild and creative. And while Megalopolis might not be the best thing out there, I guarantee you it's going to inspire a lot of people to do different things. And we're going to see things that have happened because of this movie.
I think people who hate it also, we're supposed to be cinema fans. And there's a lot of bad press about this film coming out. But I just think as people who watch a lot of movies, it's fun to see something like this.
Yes.
It's just a full on swing. And it's just, I admire that. I admire that there are directors out there doing it. And I think there are great directors like Denis Villeneuve, who we'll talk about later, who know how to take a budget and make a crowd pleaser. But I do like when people take a huge budget and make this.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even a medium-sized budget and something like Southland Tales comes out. And you're just like, I need some of this.
I was in director's deal for 40 years.
It is insane. Well, I mean, it's not like Coppola's got 40 years in him, so he's all right with being in jail at this point. But yeah, it's just one of those. And when you talk about music moments, this was the first thing that popped into my head. Like the very first, I'm like, well, I know what I'm going to talk about.
A big smile on my face. Oh, speaking of smiles, you want to hear my next pick?
I would love to.
Smile 2.
Hey.
I tried to transition and didn't feel right. But Naomi Scott is perfection in Smile 2. I think she gives one of my favorite performances of 2024. Probably the most demanding performance I'd seen, maybe aside from Demi Moore in The Substance and Margaret Qualley. And that because they just worked incredibly hard. But Naomi Scott is perfect in this film as a pop star. She's just who's going through a horrible time. Sky Riley. But like what makes Naomi Scott great is she feels like a pop star in this movie. She does all of her own singing. She only had 2 weeks to prep for this film. She does her own dancing. She does like everything she did. She just put so much work into this. but there's an opening rehearsal scene where she's kind of trying to go for a comeback tour, and she's singing her song about doctor, please somebody help me. It's a very disposable song, but just watching her do all the dancing, and there's this thing where her dancers pick her up and kind of spin her in a circle. And it's just a really interesting shot. And you're watching it and you're just thinking, like, man, Naomi Scott put the work in for this film. And I really admire that. So I had to take just that small moment. She does a lot more singing. There's a lot more music in this film, but I love that rehearsal scene because, she has a lot of back pain. I feel that, but it's because of that piano I moved. Thanks, guys. I just went back to that, Nick. But I just really like this scene, and it reminds me of how good her performance was, and the choreography. It's good choreography, and it's like, just, I don't know. I was very impressed with Naomi Scott, and I had to include it in this episode.
I didn't plan on seeing Smile 2 because I didn't see Smile because I'm not a horror guy. Like, to me, having something that's just like standing still and something's coming towards you is one of the most terrifying things in my mind. Like, people don't see this. The way you're sitting right now, you have 2 doors behind you. I'm so in the back of my mind, there's a universe that exists where one of those doors slowly crept open and something is slowly coming towards you to get you. And that's like one of the most terrifying things I could ever see. Right. So the whole idea of like Smile and somebody coming after you, not a fan. But after seeing something like this, I'm like, I need to watch these films now, because this is one of the most perfect transitions I've seen to go from one moment to a completely different moment for a passage of time, because it plays like a transition in that we go from there in the limo scene to now she's dancing and rehearsing. It's a kind of montage because she's working through something. But the audio and how it goes from noise of the crowd,
headphones,
as soon as the door closes, the headphones come on, when they're listening to the music, and all of a sudden they do a cut to everybody lines up, then they do a cut to show the lineup from a different angle, but then the music changes because now we're in the room with them and hearing the dancing and going through like that. It's so well, the camera work flows. It's really well done. My only hang up with this particular scene, there's 1 or 2 moments that feel a little music video-ish. Like, there's a particular side angle they catch her from, and it kind of like loses that allure for me because everything else is so sweeping. It's so strategic. It's so well placed that it's, when those moments happen, it like briefly takes me out for a second, but then I'm right back in because of just how, like you said, Naomi Scott, she's just right there, and all you just want to watch wherever she's going on the screen. She just has that like power about her throughout those scenes and stuff. And that was, so when I saw that, I'm like, man, I'm really gonna have to watch these movies now. Like, thanks, Mark. Appreciate the nightmares.
Well, director Parker Finn, he's not trying to make stock movies. He and his DP Charlie Saroff they're trying to make really visually interesting films. The aspect ratio on these movies are 2-1 because the faces are front and center in the film. So even the aspect ratio is interesting. These aren't films that are stock. I think the director is really trying to make something like really interesting, and he kind of leans into Italian horror. He leans into thrillers. And what I've learned about myself with movies, especially with Naomi Scott's performance, I love it when I can watch an actor and just believe that they are that person. So, like watching Gladiator, I'm like, Ridley Scott would kill all these people. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe would kill all these people.
Ridley Scott would also kill all these people.
He would kill all them too. But I love watching a movie and I just look at the actor and I look at the character. I'm like, yes, they are them. And sometimes you don't feel that and you never get connected with the movie. But in this film, you just believe she's a pop star. Like, you just believe it because, I've seen her sing in Aladdin. She has a lot of chops and I know she can act. Like, I watched her in that Charlie's Angels movie and I was really depressed because that's not a movie and it wastes Kristen Stewart and her. And so watching Kristen Stewart thrive, watching Naomi Scott thrive, and just watching this character, Sky Riley, having a horrible time. I just loved it. It's a great scene.
No, I can't compliment it enough. Like, it again, it makes me want to watch these films now just to see, okay, if they're going to be this creative with just a simple transition to go from, hey, we're in a car to this, because it easily just could have been a cut. You know what I mean? Just something real basic, but instead it flows so well into it. And I'm like, now I gotta watch this.
It's good. It's a good movie. It's what's the term I'm looking for? I think they're striving for something more. And I think that's worth a watch.
Yeah.
What's your third pick?
It's an endeavor.
Absolutely.
My next pick is from a film that I don't think we needed, but it was still kind of neat, and that's Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh, we needed it. That movie's great.
Did we though?
Yes. Yes, I love it so much.
This movie is real Looney Tunes. I mean,
Yeah.
they really push into like the fun of it. I feel like with Carnage, they went like real, like action heavy, and they tried to make it maybe a touch more serious. But this one, they definitely pulled it back, and they were like, "Well, let's get something a little more manageable." But when this scene shows up, I'm like, "There's no way they're gonna." And then nowhere on my bingo card did I have Venom dancing to ABBA. And I think what makes it even funnier is there's no real need to have the scene, right? Because as soon as they morph, all of a sudden, boom, they're going to be hunted. They're going to be caught immediately.
It's insane. It's insane that they would do that.
And they're just like, you know what? I got to dance. You let me do it. You never let me do anything fun. It's like, well, this is going to save your life, and then just goes with it. But not only that, immediately Venom is going like beat for beat, dancing around with Mrs. Chen as if they've danced forever, as if they, you know what I mean? Like he knows all the moves goes into it. And I'm like, this is just.
Did you guys practice this?
Exactly. Like, when would you have the time to knock all this out and do the stuff? Like, how do you not? Like, and just, oh, and then just one of my favorite, my favorite part is when it comes crashing through and he just goes, God damn it. Like, the way, the energy he emotes that, oh, it cracks me up every single time. Like, it was just, oh, I enjoyed this moment way more than I thought I would. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got to bring this to people's attention.
I almost added the Major Tom scene in the VW Bug when like Reese Ifans is singing and his entire family, and Tom Hardy is just sitting there unhappy, but Venom singing. Like it's there's some good music scenes in this, and but just having Miss Chen just be in Vegas on a hot streak in a giant like it's insane.
Like why and how? Other than whenever her characters would show up in the films, I always enjoyed it. And it makes you wonder, like, how is it? And then, boom, there she is. And it's like, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing this time around.
Like, Letterkenny represents Clark Backo is what Christmas in this film. So watching Rosie from Letterkenny rip it up in a symbiote suit, seeing just Tom Hardy walk around losing shoes, the hard pass scene when he gets the vegetarian food, hard pass, like just. And those monsters, whenever they eat people, he explodes. Like people just like they turn people into vapor. Which I love.
Just
Reese Evans has a great grenade launcher moment. There's a very convenient thing of acid.
Well, I love convenience for the sake of convenience sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, I get ready for that. That's good. It's like watching a Scooby-Doo cartoon, and there's one book on the bookcase that's shaded a little bit brighter than the others. And you're like, oh, they're going to use that book right there. That's the one. And then they go pulling it. You're like, okay, here we are.
Like they almost spell doom for the galaxy just dancing to ABBA, but they don't care because it's Venom.
Yeah, and it's ABBA. Let's be honest. If you're gonna dance, if you're gonna glide, having the time of your life, you got to do it to Dancing Queen.
And Hardy looks great in a suit. That was his Bond tryout.
He really does, doesn't he? Like he really fills it out.
We need more A-list actors doing silly movies like this and caring deeply about it.
You know what we need? We need Rock and Rolla too.
Whoa.
That's what we need. We need Handsome Bob to come back. You've got some of the biggest names in film were in that movie. That's what needs to come back. That's what I want to see, Guy Ritchie. That's what I want to see. One. Him back as Handsome Bob, him, Gerard Butler, and Idris Elba in a car together talking. I'll just watch that for an hour and a half. I'll pay $20 to see that.
Bring my man Toby Kebbs back.
Everybody. Bring them all back.
Tandway Newton, bring him back. Do it. Rock and roll.
Mark Strong, the whole lot.
That movie's grown on me. I remember I watched it the first time. I'm like, I like this movie. And then everyone's like, oh, it sucks. I'm like, no, I don't think it does. I like Rock and Roll.
Yeah, I don't get the hate. I also don't get the hate for Revolver, but that's a different
well, that came after Snatch. I think everything, he was just hot. So I think he had so much momentum, then he put that out and everyone's like, no. But you watch Mark Strong in it, he's great. Like that's one of those movies that you just gotta put it in context, and I think the hype killed it, is what I'm saying.
I could see that.
My fourth pick is I'm gonna go with El Mal from Emilia Pérez, because Zoe Saldana is incredible in it, and it's gonna be up for an Oscar. I'd love to see Zoe Saldana dancing to it, and just the work that they put into it. And so you know what's interesting? Zoe Saldana, she's dyslexic and she has a lot of anxiety, so they had to do a lot of work to make sure that this was right. And what I like is they built a giant set for it. And what's interesting here is Rita, she's at a fundraiser, Zoe Saldana's character, and she's kind of developed this political conscience or political awareness. And she's kind of started denouncing things. So the costume designer put her in this, like, they called it diabolical red suit. The idea was a little bit a little bit sympathy for the devil. It's a really magnificent suit because wherever Rita is in the frame, you only see Rita. It is that red of anger, the red of revenge. And it's also very aggressive choreography that they went for. When they choreographed it, it's just very aggressive. And I think Zoe pulls that off incredibly. And what was interesting too with the suit, it kind of had to, they did a lot of tests on it and it had to react in front of
it had to, yeah, definitely for sure move certain ways.
And like the light here was directed by Rita as if she's taking power over the film itself. So they use an entire operatic technique. We had a team that works on concert sets, decorations, lights come in to do this. We have red lights hidden in the ceiling and these motorized projectors that allow her to be free and stop whenever she wants. Despite the fact that the dance was very planned out, they were able to improvise it until they found the shot because they installed lights, however, that kept the power on her.
Oh, okay, interesting.
They brought in the Steadicam operator named Sasha Nassari, who has done a few feature films, but he's also done a lot of music videos. So there's a lot of Steadicam and music videos. And they just sort of work together and they use a very short lens, 20 millimeter. And so they divided the music scenes into 8 pieces. And then so they had 8 master shots. And then and then they had 8 master shots in which the camera was moving very quickly, cutting to sudden stops very close to her face. So they broke this whole thing up and it just gave her so much power. And they brought in a Steadicam operator, done a lot of music videos. They chose a really interesting short lens. They lit it incredibly, built the whole set around it. And Zoe Saldana, who's like one of the biggest actors ever, if you look at box office, was able to shine. Like I saw this in the theater and she just blew me away. And with all my voting for my like critic groups and stuff, it's like always her. Like I think she's incredible in this movie and I love this scene.
This is another movie that we got in 2024 where I was not expecting a bigger musical aspect to it. Because when the Golden Globes and stuff came out and I saw a lot of nominations for this, I'm like, all right, let me check it out. And then I see it and I'm like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Like in the beginning when she's with like the cleaning people and she's having like a real quick moment there and stuff. When you talk about music videos and things, that really sticks out because a lot of it feels very TDE or Top Dog Entertainment, because when she's with those cleaning people, there's swift camera movements like a Kendrick Lamar video, right? When she's in this piece, it feels to me very much like Donald Glover in This Is America.
Yes.
How there's that parade
very
calling
aggressive.
everything out. Yeah, very aggressive. And what's interesting too is that's kind of how her dancing is throughout the whole film. It's not like stiff by any means, but it is very pointed and very aggressive, for lack of a better term. Whereas like anybody else, it tends to be a little more flowy or a little more, I don't want to say natural, but there is definitely like a staccato, a very point of an exclamation mark, the way she dances. The only thing that like, I like the performance aspect in this, but from a musical standpoint, I feel like when they get to the chorus and there's like guitars and stuff, that feels a little out of place. It doesn't feel like what the rest of the song is. Like it kind of weirdly shifts and then goes back. So like when the chorus is kind of there, I'm like, okay. But then when everything else is happening, I'm like, oh, I'm here for it. Like we can just leave that chorus part out. Like let's just stick with everybody and who she's calling out. And for me, it's got to be hard to be the extras, not for the dancing along part, but how are you supposed to look forward and not watch Zoe Saldana and move your head and be like, this is pretty impressive right now. Like look at all of this. It's so tough.
And when she started off with center stage, so she's a dancer, but they gave her really aggressive dancing things like are kind of clip as well. But I don't know, she just owns it. Like I also love watching movies when an actor just owns something. Like you said, what This Is America, like you're owning it. Like it's like this is your moment and you are owning it. And I love when that happens on screen. And that just felt like one of the top moments of the year where she just owns everything around it. But just learning more about how they made it and how they did it. And it's just cool. It makes me really happy. And I hope Zoe Saldana gets an Oscar this year because she's great in the film. I mean, listen, like the song, you're right. It's very aggressive and it does kind of jump around. But for me, I'm just thinking more about her performance and less about the song.
Oh, no, for sure. Performance standpoint, like this is, if you had sent this out with like best actor, best actress, or just best acting Cordy in general, there's no way you're A, not putting this to be a part of a nomination, and B, there's no way she doesn't get a lot of the votes and or enough in order to get that win, because the rest of her dance prowess is fantastic, yes, but also the rest of her performance, that's really good too. And yes, she's always Aldana, so it's going to be really easy to be like, yeah, she's great at what she does. But this, and it's kind of funny, she's wearing the red, is literally the cherry on top. Like it literally is like the suit is great and stands out. It stands out amongst all the, standard color looking suits, or even the colors that the women would wear, very like matted tones and earth tones, that kind of thing. And like you said, here's just red, here's this fire coming through and literally burning everything up. I mean, she pulls out some woman's hair, blonde at some point, and is just swinging it around. It's like, all right, yikes. But no, when you sent me this, I'm like, okay, let me see what this movie's about. And then again, the musical aspect, I'm like, all right, let's see what they can do with this. And I think they did a lot better with this than other films that added musical aspects did.
It just made me happy. And like the gun scene too, when they're kind of clicking the gun to the song, like I really dug that. And it's been interesting watching this film because I feel like it's doing better internationally than in the States. Like I feel like European audiences love the vibe of it, but in the States, people are like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But it's a very daring type film, and I dig it. So it's
I think we just need more of that too.
Yeah.
Like people don't, they're not too familiar with it. You can't put this film on and like halfway through a scene, like hurry up and get on your phone. And look at something and then go back to it. It's not background noise. This is a film. Your phone is away or on silent or whatever in another room, and you were just in there. You're in the moment. You're watching this film. You're experiencing it. Like I would have loved to have seen this on the big screen. Like I think that'd be fantastic to see. If it catches a Best Picture nom, maybe I'll do the old AMC. You spend a weekend, you watch all the movies and stuff like that, and do it. But I mean, it is on Netflix too. But to see that imagery on a big screen, I feel like that's where it's gonna like pop and really be like, whoa. You know what I mean?
We gotta get you on the press critic list here, Nick, so you can come see stuff.
I used to be on one.
Get MFF, write reviews. So what's your last pick?
My last pick is from Dune Part 2.
Oh,
which
I almost had this as well.
It's my favorite film of the year, hands down. But the moment isn't the typical what I call Dune-gasm, if you will, where it's that huge just bam, it hits you. It's the guitars that hit. It's a piano that hits. It's so much that hits at once, and then it just shifts into this next gear. It's almost as if, like, if you were to open the gates to the next universe, like, that's the noise that it makes. That's the sound. You are entering a new realm, and here it is. It's all you. I didn't pick that one. I went for something a little more subdued. I went for a part of the film that's, like, kind of really tough to watch if you think about it, right? Paul's coming in off the sandworm. He's going to make his big speech and presentation. And you just have this sludgy cello just being ground to bits. And that's what he's walking into. It's not a pomp and circumstance. This is not a parade. Here comes this guy just sludging through, thinking he's going to come in and tell us what all's going on. I mean, even as he walks through the crowd, he's just this little blackish gray speck, and everything else around him is just like moving out of his way. It's this infection that's coming through. And it's really weird to think of him that way, because we're like, oh, it's Paul. He's the boy who lived. He's going to be going out there. He's going to save this planet. It's going to be great. And then he gets in and starts talking, and you're like, oh no, Paul. Oh no, you're the bad guy.
Everyone pulls a knife at him on one moment.
Everybody. And he silences them. And even when the Bene Gesseris come out and he follows behind them, it's these weird exotic horn, not weird, but it's these not typically heard exotic horns. But they're drones, right? Nothing is this bright and flugelhorn, and it's just drones, these slow, just churning drones. And it brings into this scene. So when he stands up and he shouts at everybody, it's like, for him to say, I'm pointing the way, as a man, you're just like, all right, dude, like, what's going on? She's like, all right, slow down. How many times as a bouncer have you wanted to say, there was no one in this room who can stand against me? How many times have you wanted to say that to somebody and just hope that dozens of people stand up and pull knives on you so you could start telling them about their dreams and their nightmares?
I guess I'm the opposite. I like being under the radar, and then everyone's like, holy crap, that dude just handled me. Does that make sense? Like,
absolutely.
I don't think I've ever
this silent killer.
I've never threatened a crowd. Afterwards, everyone's been like, what happened? Like that.
You're like, exactly.
That's what you wanted. That's who I was. So I've never wanted that. So I was always kind of like the under the radar guy. So I learned to be, if you're quiet to people, okay, you can only speak like that if you are the toughest guy in the room.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
You can't do that in any other situation. So for me, it would just be like, man, that dude had more to him than I thought. Like, it's just just take care of business. But yeah, I never made that speech. So like, you know, when people are like, yeah, you go count of 3, or like, you know, like, 2 punches, me hitting you, or 2 hits, me hitting you hitting the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just, I'd get him in a headlock, I'd clear everybody out, and I'd throw them out the door.
Nice.
Yeah.
No sludging cellos, no churning, nothing. Just
No, just man down, wait, land down under playing.
okay. Even the 3-piece band slows down a little bit. Like, oh,
yeah. Oh man.
Boys, let's make sure we're not flat on the next go round, okay?
You know, it's funny. I actually worked in a bar in St. Pete, and I worked with these 2 giant guys, and they didn't last long. They got fired because they just were obliterated people, like threw a guy through a windshield and like did all this. It was probably like every night I was fighting. And there's another guy there. He eventually got beat up one night when I wasn't there, so he quit. But when we worked together, he and I, we were like raptors. We were like the clever raptors from Jurassic Park. Like we were good bouncers because we instinctively knew what to look for. And so like wherever I was, if something was happening, I would be on one side and he would just be on the other. He would just be there. So like we knew how to like shut things down from angles, but we weren't that big.
Yeah.
Like we we had an instinct for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't think the big bruisers you don't want to aren't the best bouncers, I guess. Like, I learned to be like a raptor. I guess I was a little bit like Paul because no one expected him to knife fight like a maniac.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. But with a speech like that, everyone's expecting just these loud tones and fanfare, but we're not. If anything, the cello gets softer and softer and the performance speaks louder and louder. And it's one of those moments where it might not be, you know, a dance off. It might not be one of these things, but it's still a great moment of like, here's this music that immediately changes the tone. And we're like, oh no, like this isn't good. Like something bad is going to happen, but it's not a murder. Right? It's not some crazy twist. It's not a plot. No, it's just we see this character that we've been rooting for make that turn. And it's like, now he's not coming back. And we see that further along later when he's fighting in front of the Emperor and everything. Like he's gone. This is the last we get of Paul. The last of it.
The only time I want that music that's playing for him, for me to play, is I'm in Naples and there's the best pizza spot there.
Italy or Florida?
Florida.
Okay.
No, not Naples. Florida, Naples, Italy.
Yeah, I know.
I've had a long day. I actually played one of my soccer tournaments in Naples when I was young, and I was like, this place is great. But Italy, I walk into like a Italian, like beautiful Naples pizzeria, hole in the wall, really cold Peroni on draft, and that's when I want the music playing behind me because I'm just gonna lay this place. Like I'm going to spell doom upon them because I'm going to eat so much pizza and have so much.
Eat them out of house and home.
Exactly. That's when the music should play.
You're just looking at the waiter. Fear the moment.
You know, just I have those ladies with me. They're just shuffling around, and my mom's all tripping from baby juice venom.
Slow down. 55 cheeseburgers, 35.
We ride a freaking sandworm in.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I want. That was a great pick, man. And, you know, you got to give Zimmer a shout.
I mean, there's no way you don't.
So I didn't mean for this to happen, but I'm very happy that the final pick is what we're going to drop because I think it was probably probably a film that caught me off guard. And it was probably one of the most fun viewings I've had of 2024. And it's a movie called Kneecap. So Northern Ireland film, takes place in Belfast, one of my favorite cities on the planet. Like there's some bars there like that I love. Like we went there once and we loved it so much we went back to it. Like when we visited again, just stopped there again and drove to Belfast to like go to this bar and they remembered us, which was awesome. Not because we owed them money or broke the place up. We just had a good time. But like I love Belfast and like it's one of my favorite cities. My good friend Patrick, like he's from Northern Ireland and like he has the poster up in his house, but he lives in Canada now, right outside of Toronto in the greater Toronto area. But Kneecap. And but it's like HOOD, so it's a song called Hood, HOOD. Like it's just a really great song, and it's probably one of their more aggressive songs. I would say it was probably their most like they sing like the native, like not native, but like original like Irish language. Like they're trying to keep it alive. That's what the movie's about. But it's probably their most English language song to like date. But it's just the scene is great because. Like, you know what's crazy too, Kneecap? I had no idea who they were, so I thought these were actors, but these are all the guys from the band. And like the DJ Provi, like I thought he was just an actor, but he's the DJ in the band. But he's so good, I thought he was just an actor playing a DJ in a band. But he's excellent in it. And there's a shot when the song's playing, where he puts this balaclava, it's an Irish flag balaclava over his head because he wanted to hide his identity because he was also a teacher. And like the camera sees through his balaclava and into a bathroom mirror of him wearing it. And it's a really interesting edit played over this, like, like also too, they played some shows before this and there wasn't a lot of people there. But when they played it, like during this scene, the bar was full. They're giving out free drugs. Everyone's stoned and they kind of embrace their identity as this kind of, like Northern Irish rap band who sings like, in their native language there. And it's just a really cool, I just like Northern Ireland. I love going up there and just spending time and just, I don't know. I dig it. I think it's a really great scene, really interesting camera work. And I had to include Kneecap.
Listening to the music, it gave me a real, like, if Idols had more of a hip hop slant to it. Just kind of that, like, a little bit of that primal energy, a little bit of that, like, this is who we are. Yes, we're different, but who cares? Embrace it about yourself. Love that. And there's just a fun energy about that. And I think what helps them out too is no one else is really doing that. And if they are, they're not doing it to the scale that they're doing it, nor are they doing it with such a vision too. Because if they're able to have such the vision and details for you to think that they're actors and not actually the people that they are, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's it says something. It's a testament to the art and what they're trying to get across. And I think that's really cool. And it's also different. Like any, you know what I mean? Any Smile 2, for example, right? It can be any kind of pop song going on. And but this is very specific. You don't have somebody twirling around and a bunch of dancers going to this music intentionally.
Yeah, I don't know. I just love this movie, Nick. And I think Rich Pepiat, the director, he took 3 non-actors and made them pop on screen. You got Fassbender in this movie. It might even be nominated for an Oscar. Like it's that good and it's that alive. And all the guys in the band are like, who is this crazy dude emailing us every day? Like they thought he was like some film school dude, but then he made a movie with them and it's incredibly successful. And it's on Netflix now. And I would Georgia Film Critics Association, we nominated it for best song and best foreign language film. And I would love to see it get an Oscar nomination with them performing. That'd be insane. I don't know if like a really political Northern Irish band would want to play at the Oscars. It might raise their profile. And actually, they want to promote Irish language.
Yeah.
First and foremost. So it would do that. Because in the movie, Fassbender said like every word spoken in the Irish language is like a bullet at like, the British because he's an IRA guy. But it's just a really
very big into accounting.
Yeah.
Wink.
It's just it's a lovely movie and I love it so much. So yeah, it's I had to promote. Yeah, no, I had to do it. I had to talk about Kneecap because I love it. And it's my wife Megan's second favorite film of the year.
Hey, nice. This is no different than, the boy and the girl crate digging and playing a record. This is us sharing something that we're passionate about that we really thought was great. And the other one, like, vibing to it. Maybe not the same way, but still vibing.
I love it. Well, hey, thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you for having me, dude.
And also, I thought about doing Challengers because that score is amazing, but it's getting so much love that, like, the match point moment at the end is art. Like, Challengers is one of my favorite films of the year by far. It's a gorgeous film. But that final moment by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross is great. So I almost gave that props, but I'm happy with my 5.
It felt like an improvement upon their version of Hall of the Mountain King and Social Network.
Ooh.
It's almost if they got to me, it felt like they got an inspiration from that. And they're like, all right, how can we make this better? And it's like, well, let's do an original bit. And then let's just amp it up ever so more. And I have yet to see a film with a score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross that A, didn't crush, or B, the soundtrack was just one of the craziest things. Even on something like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, where it's a little more ambient, a little more kind of what's going on in the environment. It's not so pointed and danceable as the one in Challengers per se, but it's still like no matter what they do, like they crush it. There's no way. They're like the new Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Whoa.
I'm also saying it.
Oh, I like that. Also, I love the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. They had Karen O cover Immigrant Song. That's
such a good version, dude.
Like Karen O cover everything.
Please.
Maps is like one of my favorite songs. I know it's like
So
drenched
good.
in sadness, but just the way that her voice and the music video
and the guitar work.
Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah. That style. That band has so much style. I love the yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, you do.
Yeah. Hey, wait, that's a Philly thing. Yeah. Oh no, it's just yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Wawa. Iced tea. Yeah.
John.
Yeah, son. So Nick, where can people find you? In Philly at a Wawa.
They can find me in Philly on Passyunk and 9th Street. Shout out Dane. No. They can find me over at rabbitholepodcasts.com. I'm on 2 programs there. Play MST for me and Lyrical Innuendo. Please check those out. You can find me on previous episodes of this show, as well as recent episodes of the Exploding Helicopter podcast. There's been a lot of very interesting films with exploding helicopters lately. So go check out that podcast and listen to what Will and myself have to say.
You two are a good team.
Thank you. Thank you. It feels it does feel good a lot. Even when there's some movies where I'm like, maybe I should stop saying yes. Maybe this is the time where I go, not for me, Will.
And also Godzilla vs. Biollante is getting a Criterion release. I just want you to know that.
I was having a bad day that day. And when that email came through, I broke down into the happiest of joyful tears because my favorite Godzilla movie is getting a 4K release. I never thought I would see that in my lifetime. Ever.
Did you do the lawnmower where you start the lawnmower, you're pulling the cable? Was that you just like, woof, woof, were you doing that?
No, I did what we shouldn't do. I immediately went for a head spin. I immediately went for a whirly bird. I didn't warm up. I just went right into it.
I like that.
Yeah.
They call that the Baltimore Ballet.
It's, you know what? We got to do something up here. We'd be more bopping.
Hey, well, thank you for joining me, brother.
Thank you for having me, dude.
All right. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Nick Rehack, this is Movies from the Flicks. We'll see you next week.